Hello, Pisces. This is your reading for the week of January 5th, 2026, or when you hear it and it resonates. And of course, it won't be for all Pisces. So here you go. The first image that I saw of you as I was starting to work with your energy, Pisces, was of you standing on a podium with your hands like this. And it reminds me of an old Monty Python skit. And you're standing there saying, I have a theory. But you're not really confident when you're saying, I have a theory. You're looking around your shoulder to see whether or not people are going to be jeering at you, whether or not they're going to actually be willing to listen to you. Now, what I'm getting with this is that part of the reason that you are not being taken as seriously as you would like is because you're expecting people to not take you seriously. And it might even be that you're not taking yourself seriously because people around you are not taking you seriously. What you're being told here, Pisces, is this. You've got the can't and won't card, and that to me is something that often signifies old childhood patterns of powerlessness coming up. And when I say powerlessness, it can come out in many different ways, right? It can be a lack of confidence. It can cause wanting to hide away. It can be believing that you don't have a right to do things differently than what you were always taught. So it can play out in a lot of different ways. But what you've got also in conjunction with this is very supportive, because what Spirit is saying is you can notice the choices that you make about how you feel, because you can plummet into feelings quickly. And when I say plummet, I do mean plummet. You can go boom into the depths of something and kind of lose your ability to detach and see it from a more detached perspective in order to be able to look at it realistically, to respond rather than react, and decide whether or not your feelings are justified or whether or not it's just an echo from the past that's coming up. What you're being told, Pisces, is structured free flow is the way to help you through this. Okay? Understand that part of what's coming up now for all of us are the issues that have held us back from being able to live our new story. And a lot of times they're very, very subtle. A lot of times you don't even know that there is a belief system operating, or I'm going to say an echo or a hangover of energy that comes from someone else in your family, or comes from how you were perceived as a child by other people in your family, that you have on some level incorporated as a part of your perception of who you are. And what you're being told here, Pisces, is no. This is you now being able to deliberately set something up so you don't get sucked down in, okay? Listen, I have a rising sign in water. I understand the tendency to get caught in emotion in a way where it can pull us into almost a vortex of thought. But what you're being told here is, because you know that's a tendency, can you, first of all, identify it as a tendency if it is? Because if it is and you identify it, now you have some kind of relationship with it where you are getting to make choices about that, about what your emotions are, about how you want to handle them. Then the next thing is create a structured free flow. What does that mean? That means create something for yourself that is going to be a what's the word? There's going to be a behavior, an action, an attitude, an intention that acts as a boundary, almost like a seawall against the tide coming in. And by doing that, by putting that in place, what you're doing energetically is you're already creating some slowdown of the momentum that takes you into that place of shlunk. So structured free flow. Again, this is really, really simple. Look for habits that you already have that are regular to you. You get up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth. Have something on your mirror that says, take 3 deep breaths, ground yourself, do a grounding exercise, whatever it happens to be for you. And there are so many that you can do. And by adding these things that are literally about slowing down the emotional momentum of thoughts that are overpowering for you, what you do is you now have a structure around you that helps contain all of that intensity of emotion. And by linking it to things you already do, you're a lot more inclined to keep it up. It's going to be on your mind, okay? Because a lot of times we just forget to do them, especially when we live in a very, when we live in emotion, when we live and exist in emotion in a way where it's a big part of our daily life, it's very easy to kind of get swept into it. So this is the job for you, and to really notice your choices. Notice when you're not feeling right, when you're feeling off, when you're feeling sad, scared, paranoid, whatever. What's going on with you in that moment? Notice it, name it, take 3 deep breaths and see how it changes, because it will. And that is one of the most powerful ways to slow down the momentum of the energetic flow that might be the energetic vortex, okay? Now, again, this is notice your choices, and it's remembering that you are not alone. You have what you need in order to be able to deal with this, and you have what you need because you are connected to a higher conscious self. It's not just other people. It's not just spirit or other people. You yourself have the power and are connected to that. You have the ability. You have what it takes to do this. And slowing down the way they are suggesting is part of the way to do it. And the last card that you get with this is drop the weight, which is make a list of the things that stress you. And get that out of your head and onto paper, because that's part of the way you can create emotional space, which allows you then to be more easily able to take distance between thoughts when they come up and your feeling about them. Okay? It allows you to be more aware. Pisces, I'm going to leave you with that. But the last thing that they want me to say is this. Realize, please, that this letting go of childhood, it's almost like a fog, a childhood fog that still is with you sometimes and still gets activated in a way that interrupts your ability to be in your creative and your flow state. So what they're saying is write things down, do what's appropriate for you to move through this, because this is where you really, really get to identify whatever is still this magnetic stuff that's still around you that may be reinforcing the old image that you had of yourself, which was not as empowered or as creative as you would like to be. And Pisces, you've got so much creativity when you're in flow with your higher self, when you're not getting in your own way. It's amazing what you can do. We all benefit from it. Okay, Pisces? Much love and Happy New Year. Take care.